in order that the righteous requirement of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. Okay, don't miss this. He didn't say, in order that the righteous requirement of the law might be fulfilled for us. He says, might be fulfilled in us who walk not according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. Okay, what Paul is doing here, he's again giving an assurance of salvation for those in Christ. He is saying that if you are in Christ, here's how you're going to know it. You're going to know it because you're going to walk according to the Spirit, not according to the flesh. Now, be careful. He's not saying that if you walk according to the Spirit, then you will be saved. That's not what he's saying. He's saying if you are in Christ, if you have been justified by God, if you have been saved, then the product of that, the result of that, the natural consequence of that is that you will walk in the Spirit. Okay, let's talk about what that means. Walk means it's how you order your life, right? So being a Christian doesn't mean that you never sin. It means that you no longer order your life around sin. Sin doesn't have dominion over you anymore. It doesn't have the ruling thoughts and ways of your life and your mind and your heart and your desires. Sin is no longer the way in which you set your ambition on, but now God has changed you to love Him, to love the things of God, to love His church, to love His people, to love the obedience to Him, to love who He is, prayer and His word, to love those things, right? He has changed us to walk according to His Spirit. If we are in Christ, He saved us, and that's the proof that we have been saved because we desire things that are in Him. We desire to walk according to His Spirit. We desire to please Him, right? That's what we want. That's what we want to do. We want to walk in those things. And so this is encouraging for the church because God's justification is inseparable from His sanctification. If you are not walking and growing and being like Jesus, then you are not being sanctified, then you probably need to check your justification. It means, are you saved or not? Are you in Christ or not? Because those who are in Christ walk according to the Spirit. That's what Paul's saying. It's proof of salvation. Now, it's encouraging for us because we can have some assurances of our salvation. Now, we're not going to be perfect, right? But we're going to come to some temptations in our life, some struggles with sin in our life, and we're going to be able to look at our life as a whole and say, I may have fallen this time. I have messed it up royally. But my desire, the way I walk, the way I want to live is not according to that failure or that sin or that mess up, but the way my desires, my heart, my mind are pouring out and pursuing walking in the Spirit. So he's saying this is encouragement for the church. If these are your desires, if your desires are for the church or for the things of God, for His word and prayer and those types of things, then you can know that you are in Christ. And then if you know you are in Christ, you can know that there's no condemnation. We are set free. We're going to walk in life. Our condemnation is behind us. Jesus took it, and we can walk free. And so we can battle sin as people that are fighting an already defeated foe. It doesn't have dominion over us anymore. And so when we do mess up and Satan, our enemy, begins to say, hey, you can't be a Christian and do that. There's no way you can do that. We can fight him with Romans 8:1. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, and I am in Christ Jesus. So it's a weapon for us. It's a point of attack for believers. It's a hope and an anchor to hold on to.